Welcome to the 2020 Service of the Living Tradition. I wish that we were all together in a physical space, but what a blessing that we can still gather in this way. We've all endured a lot of change during this pandemic. It's showed up a lot of hardship in our midst, but change can also be beautiful. It's also allowed us new and creative ways of connecting, and it's showing us new visions of what a liberatory faith can really bring into our world. What endures is the central purpose of this service, which is to speak to who we have been as Unitarian Universalists, who we are now, and most importantly, who we are called to be. So welcome again as the service begins.
Let us pause for a moment to remind ourselves that even though we are apart, we are together. In spite of virtual space, we are one. Let us bear witness to whom we are becoming. As such, we light this chalice with intention, with optimism, with grace, and with the tenacity that the fierce urgency of now demands of each and every one of us. Masakan, let us build together.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another.
The reading today is entitled Pry Me Off Dead Center, written by the Reverend Ted Loader. O persistent Holy One, deliver me from assuming your mercy is gentle. Pressure me that I may grow more human, not through the lessening of my struggles, but through an expansion of them that will undam me and unbury my gifts. Deepen my hurt until I learn to share it, and myself openly, and my needs honestly. Sharpen my fears until I name them and release the power I have locked in them and they in me. Accentuate my confusion until I shed those grandiose expectations that divert me from the small, glad gifts of the now and the here and the me. Expose my shame where it shivers, crouched behind the curtains of propriety, until I can laugh at last through my common frailties and failures, laugh my way toward becoming whole. Deliver me from just going through the motions and wasting everything I have, which is today a chance, a choice, my creativity, your call. O persistent God, let how much it all matters pry me off dead center, so if I am moved inside to tears or sighs or screams or smiles or dreams, they will be real, and I will be in touch with who I am and who you are and who my siblings and brothers are. Thus ends our reading.
Each year, as we have for generations, we honor the religious professionals of our living tradition who have died in the last year. As we remember these loved ones and dear colleagues, we honor the lives they lived, the ministries they offered, the meaningful difference they made to the people and communities they served with their leadership, their care, their wisdom, and their faithful presence. I invite you to find a comfortable position that feels right as we enter into this communion of memory. Perhaps rise in body or in spirit. Perhaps open your hands in prayer. As we remember these leaders of our tradition, we also hold their family members in our hearts. May gratitude for all of the love shared surround them and all of us, even in our grief.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in times like these, and now I need you, and now I need you. And you are gone. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Since you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw it clearly in your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have you things that will console. And when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember that I was told. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I think on the things that made me feel so wonderful when I was young. I think on the things that made me laugh, made me dance, made me sing. I think on the things that made me grow into a being full of pride. Think on these things, for they are true. And I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice that whispers all I need to hear. I know a please and thank you and a smile will take me far. I know that I am you and you are me and we are one. I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been blessed again and over again and again and again. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes.
Will you join me in a moment of prayer? Spirit of life, Spirit of love, that holds us close in a network of mutuality that extends across the generations, linking us to all who have gone before and all who will come after. Our hearts are humble in the midst of the precious gift and great mystery of life. We honor these precious leaders who have gone before us. In remembering them, we remember that we are not the first to struggle, to lose, to know anguish, to risk, to love, to celebrate, and to be in need of forgiveness and grace. In remembering them, we remember our own responsibilities in the face of the brevity of life. Every moment we are given is precious. May we, in remembering these leaders, live our own lives more committed to compassion, to community, to one another, and always in service of the larger call of love and justice. I invite us all now into a moment of shared silence, to be attentive to the prayers, the memories, the longings, the hope present in each of our own hearts. Blessed be, and amen.
I chose this sermon title months ago, not knowing what was coming, and now it seems very eerily to be on target. The recent shooting by 2 armed vigilantes of Ahmaud Arbery, who was jogging in the neighborhood. Breonna Taylor, an EMT, shot in her own apartment by police who allegedly entered the wrong place. And COVID-19, and the never-ending lies coming from the White House, which puts people at risk every day. With the current numbers in the United States, over 2 million confirmed cases and over 115,000 deaths of American people as of June 11th. And now today, as I record this sermon, we have the murder of George Floyd by police in Minneapolis. A black man, 8.5 minutes of being under the knee of a white policeman as he begs for mercy and his mother. My friends, we are in deep trouble. And when I say we, I mean Unitarian Universalist leaders. We are out of time. Revival of relationships, revolution of values. A proposal that will look inward at ourselves and who we are as a faith right now, and a revolution of values, an action-centered faith that tells the world who we are. This is a time of great responsibility for people who claim a liberal faith, but we cannot articulate what it means to be both liberal and faithful. If we do that, we will become like a tree in the forest. Nobody hears it fall, and nobody cares. So let us mull over the revival of relationships. I have watched for over 30 years many of our congregations in action. It is often a beautiful thing. It is just as often discouraging and disappointing. When we cannot or choose not to dig deeply into our relationships with one another within our congregations, we break the very essence of what it means to be people of faith. When we are conflict avoidant, yet willing to gossip, we break the fabric of community. When we as religious professionals choose not to lead our congregations in justice-making, we deny them an opportunity to expand their understanding of we. As I continue to speak of and to our religious leaders, you are all welcome to listen in. This is for our religious leaders now. Unitarian Universalism is fortunate to have dedicated, committed, and loving leaders. We have Unitarian Universalist ministers, both parish and community, religious educators and musicians, chomping at the bit to share our liberal faith, chomping at the bit to make the world better, more faithful, people who want to build the brave and beloved community, both within and outside of our building. They guide us to become more selfless, less self-centered, more just, less judgmental, more loving, and less afraid. And of course, as is human nature, for some of our leaders, not so much. I do not judge, but dear siblings in faith, if you are resistant to change, dialogue, and love, I beg of you to put aside any arrogance and stubbornness and come, sit with us, talk with us, pray with us. We are all part of the circle. If you believe you are part of this community who wants to build the brave, beloved community, I charge you to wrap yourself in the banner of bravery and bring forth the good news to your community. The good news that Unitarian Universalism is love, and we will not back down from hatred and fear. If you love your congregation, and I know you do, please invite them into the brave and beloved heart and listen to their expertise, their wisdom, their passion. For you who sit in the pews, we need you now more than ever. We need you to be open to a true shared ministry where you, who have already done such hard work, come and share it with us, your religious leaders. We all must enter into our faith in this new time of pandemic and all that goes with it, ready to open our hearts, minds, and souls first to each other and then to the world. So as we return to church, however that looks in the next year, let us commit to deep honesty, deep listening, and deep learning with an open mind ready to be brave. Thus ends the revival of relationships. Now, let us look inward. Let us change our minds and hearts so that we might make a difference in the world. Let us look for a revolution of values. For too long, Unitarian Universalists have worshipped at the feet of rugged individualism and reason beyond reason. Many UUs have rejected any sense of the wonder and the need of community. We sit in our pews, the same seats every week, with lots of distance between us, even before the pandemic, with lots of distance between us and our fellow church members. What is that about? Why is it? We're advertising our individualism, our go it alone, our I don't need any help, and neither should you. We make noise about welcoming others, but we argue rather than discuss new programs that will benefit the other. We reject the need to understand deeply what it means to be the other, and we adamantly stand our ground around ethics, equality, and values to meet our individual needs. This is not how we want to be seen in the world. Actually, we no longer have the luxury to be defiant and argumentative for argument's sake. Now hear this. I am not talking about good, old-fashioned you debate and individual journeys of faith. I am not talking about towing the line of the company, whatever that might be, and its declarations. This is not about dogma or confession of faith. But in order to face the world today, in order to be part of the saving of the world, we need to find a common language and common values. I propose a value of love beyond love, a willingness to accept all people as they are, a willingness to make deep accommodations to those who are desperately seeking a safe haven. I propose a value of power. We UUs often don't recognize the power of our faith in community, grasp it, and use it for the benefit of others. And we must be willing to give up much of our power. We must be willing to give up power. I propose a value of humility. We all know that UUs are highly educated, very smart, very successful. Now, if we value love beyond love, we must strip away our conceit. We must learn that there are so many ways to be educated and smart. We must value those who enter our doors as the beloved human beings that they are. We must stop pontificating and listen. Listen deeply. We must be willing to be wrong. We must be open to losing the argument for the good of all. I propose a value of learning. We must recognize that others who we do not see as Unitarian Universalists have rituals, experiences, worldviews, and knowledge that we need to hear and learn from and understand. I propose a value of bravery. Stop with the safe space. You don't need it. Be brave. Go out and join the protesters and confront your political leaders. Sit with and befriend the homeless man on the street. Gently, or not so gently, confront those who would bully others, who might be intimidated with hatred. I propose a value of fearlessness. The world is different today than it was last year when we prepared for GA in Spokane. Not only are we rightfully afraid of our leaders and the antagonism towards everything science-based, everything that has been established to protect and provide for its citizens, now we need to fear the invisible, COVID-19. In our fearlessness, we need to be cautious, but we do not need to be terrified into frozenness. This is a time to use our power to insist that our government step up and lead, step up and tell the truth, step up and provide. And we don't even need to leave our homes to do so. I propose a value of imagination. We can use all of our senses to imagine the community we want. What you see, what you think about your UU community in your deepest imagination, you can bring to fruition. I propose a value of generosity. Do not hoard the gifts, share them widely. Do not assume poverty of resources, time, talent, treasure. Spend some of your church's money. The community outside your doors needs it more than your church does. Believe me. Take a leap of faith. Do concrete things. Open your buildings for the kids in the neighborhood. Get wild and crazy. Sell your suburban church and buy a storefront or a box store or a car dealership, all empty because buying is not as important as we thought. Build a community center and tell the world who you are. You are Unitarian Universalists. I work in a hospital in the palliative care department as their chaplain. After working from home, I have now returned to the hospital. Those early days were frightful. Shortages of masks, gowns, gloves, needing to use a mask for 5 days. This may be the beginning of a new time of desperation and fear, and it requires us as Unitarian Universalists to be fearless, brave, and generous, while using our imagination, our bravery, our generosity, and most important, our love. Where do those people who are working 24 hours a day with the same mask and the same PPE, where do they go for hope? Where do they go for love? Open your doors to them. We are Unitarian Universalists. We have so much at our disposal. We have willing leaders in the administration who will provide the services we need to live into our values. We have leaders on the ground in the community who we can follow, who will welcome us into the revolution. This all brings us to the question, who do we want to be in the world? We can be the insular church on a hill, white suburban church of old. That's easy. Or we can revolutionize the church into something so amazing that right now we cannot imagine it. I was at a powwow once, and all the people were dancing. One elder was dancing in the opposite direction of all the others. When asked why, he said that the world was in such despair that it was off its axis. And by dancing in the opposite direction, he was trying to tilt it back. There is a lot of tilting needed. So let's dance counterclockwise. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. All of you together possess the amazing ability to share in bringing the world back to sanity, back to its axis. You are called by our ancestors, by those in whose arms we rest, by those who paved the way for our bright and beautiful liberal faith. You are called to turn away from pettiness, despair, fear, arrogance, and turn toward love, faith, bravery, generosity, and humility to make this world, our precious world, and all the people on it, our precious people, whole again. So just go do it.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind, and I is hard to find, and I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when home is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when home is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love, a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Share a rose, share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I know, that I know. And I'll bring you home when home is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love, a rose in the winter time. And I'll bring you home when home is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love, a rose in the winter time. When home is hard to find, a rose in the winter time. When home is hard to
In these times of fear, worry, sickness, I pray for you. I pray for your safety, your well-being, your good health. I pray for your quick recovery from COVID and other illnesses of your body, soul, and mind. I pray that you are secure in home and hearth. I pray that you have enough and will survive. May you be blessed by all that is holy, and may you survive and thrive. May you take on the mantle of faith and bravely go out and change the world. Just change the world. May it be so, and amen.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.